Bonjour and welcome to the Tarot of Claude. Today I'm going to be doing your daily tarot reading for Wednesday the 24th of November. I hope you are all doing well. I'm going to pull out a couple of cards. A couple of cards for you, sorry, just flicking through my deck. I have pre-shuffled it. Okay, let's go. Those are general readings, they will not resonate with everybody. Please take what applies directly to your situation and leave the rest behind. As always, if the message does not resonate with you, it simply wasn't your message today. So what do we have for Wednesday, the 24th of November? Alright. Your first energy is insight, and it's number 34, which equates to 7, which is a number of experience and evaluation and assessment. And it says, opens the third eye to strengthen your intuition. So it's asking you to look inside, listen to your inner voice. And your second energy is the triple spiral, and this one is number 2. Now number 2 is duality, polarity, partnerships, that kind of thing, and it says listening to divine wisdom and joyfully learning life's lessons. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Let's see what this is about with the tarot. So what do we need to get some insight on? There is a life lesson here, which maybe we're not seeing. Oop! That was the King of Cups. I just thought I'd show you. It just fell with a stash of cards, but face up, so he wanted to come up. Okay, so I'm going to do a Celtic cross spreads. This is the center, you at the center, 5 of Pentacles. What's crossing you is the 3 of Swords. What's below you is the 8 of Wands or 8 of Wands. Above you is the Wheel of Fortune. Behind you is the Hierophant. Ahead of you is the Page of Blades or the Page of Swords. May have to move this away because that's going to be in the way, I think. Advice is the 9 of Cups. External influence and environment is the King of Swords. Hopes and fears, 4 of Pentacles. Final outcome, 6 of Wands or 6 of Wands. Bottom of the deck you have the Queen of Swords. So we have a couple already, which is interesting because they are placed in very similar positions, because this here is the external influence, so people, situation, the environment, generally speaking. And the bottom of the deck is the underlying energies, the energies we're not aware of, and you have a couple here. Now, the difference between the Queen and the King, the Queen is patience, whereas the King is the action taker. This is a passive way of leading, and this is an active way of leading. So it's that male energy and the female energy, which is more absorbing rather than taking action. And the Swords energy is to do with your thoughts, communication, truths, news, that kind of thing. And so generally speaking, this is the couple that does not take any BS, okay? They will see through it immediately. They are highly intelligent. They are fair people. And the queen will cut away whatever no longer serves her. And this is part of your, energies around you, whether it's people, like whether this person is someone in your environment. And I do not attach genders to my cards, it's a general reading. So we're talking about someone who embodies the characteristics of those two people. And it could be an environment or people around you. It could also be asking you to embody the characteristics of those core cards in order to move forward. Because it does talk about the first card that I pulled out for you from my oracle was about having insights, strengthening your intuition, and listening to what the card calls divine wisdom or the universe, whatever it is you believe in. The king and queens of swords do not listen to their intuitions. They are fact-based people. So this is asking you to be aware of this, because this is in your environment. Now, at the center of this reading, we have the Five of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles are to do with your physical world, so home life, work life, financial assets, jobs, careers, that kind of thing. And 5 is a number of change and challenges. So this is talking about some kind of change happening in your life. That this could be a change at work, this, something to do with work. As I said, this is a general reading, so difficult to put, to be specific about things, obviously. And crossing it, you've got the Three of Swords. Now, 3 is a number of growth and expansion. And Swords is to do, as I explained with the King and Queens, to do with thoughts. And the Three of Swords, although in the Rider-Waite's being seen as, emotional pain, in the Marseille Tarot way of reading it is a victory. It's a breakthrough. And so I'm wondering if you're in that Five of Pentacle mentality, which can sometimes be associated to a bit of a lack mentality, I would say, brought on by the change, basically, which makes you doubt. And so this is stopping, the breakthrough is not happening. Because in your goals and aspiration, you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a major arcana. You only have 2 major arcanas, so these are the big hitters on your life path, the things that make you progress. And the Wheel of Fortune is to do with cycles, it's always spinning. And it can also represent luck. And so I'm getting that you're hoping that some luck's going to come your way. You want the cycle to move on to something new. But in your subconscious mind, you have the 8 of Wands. Now, 8 is the number of advancement. Wands is to do with passion, desires, urges, things that really ignite you. It's fire energy. And so subconsciously, you want to advance. Whatever it is that's blocking the breakthrough, not happening, you want to move from that Five of Pentacles mentality that you have. And your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are kind of, they're in line, really. The 8 of Wands is a fast energy, and your subconscious wants this to move fast. And you are hoping that it's going to be, the next cycle, some luck coming your way. Because in the near past, you have the Hierophant, which is your second major arcana of this read. The Hierophant can be many things. It can be a teacher, a counselor, obviously a clergyman. It can represent big institutions, because in medieval times you had the king and then you had the church, if you think about this. So it can represent that. It can represent having undergone a some kind of transformation on a spiritual level. And it does tell you at the beginning of the read that you need to listen to divine wisdom to joyfully learn from life's lessons. So no matter what that was in the past, a spiritual life lesson, that kind of thing, the cards are telling you to really accept them in order to grow. In the near future, you've got the Page of Swords. Now, the pages are news bearers, and swords is to do with, as I said, communication, truth. It can also represent a new path. So in the near future, I believe that you are going to look at things in a different way. Pages are not as experienced as the Queen and the King. You've got 3 out of the 4 court cards from the sword suit. But in the near future, you're going to start looking at things in a different way, which is good, because I believe that's what the cards are asking you to do. That lesson that you've had in the past was there for a reason. The universe never, or God, or your spirit team, whatever you believe in, no judgment here, but they never, ever put on your path something you cannot handle. It's to make you grow. It's for your personal development. And so no matter what that was, it is telling you to take on board that lesson so you can move on and start looking at things in a different way with the Page of Swords. Because the advice card in here is the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups, Cups is to do with feeling and emotions, which I can't help but notice that this is the only cup card in your reading which has to do with feelings. Everything else is to do with thoughts and the fire energy of the wands, but there's only 2. And you also have a couple of pentacles, which is your life, you know, as I said, the 3D world. Most of it is to do with swords and thoughts. But in the advice, it's saying to you, 9 of Cups. The 9 is number of achievement. It's the wish fulfillment card. So it's asking you to look at what is your wish fulfillment. What is it that's going to bring you that level of emotional contentment and happiness, basically, is what it's saying. So look inside of you. Get in touch with your intuition, because that card about insight and intuition is to do also with the cups. The cups is water, and it's to do with feelings, but also intuition. So it's asking you to look within, find out what is your 9 of Cups, what's your wish fulfillment, so you can move forward. Because the Page of Swords could also be, I said it's a new way of looking at things, but it could also be some news coming, because it can represent news as in emails or social media, that kind of thing, that could bring you something. So it's asking you to look at these things, but get in touch with your feelings and intuition, because in your environment it's very much about swords energy, which is about facts, facts, facts. And you have swords blocking you and keeping you trapped in that 5 of Pentacles, which is a disruptive energy in your physical world. In your hopes and fears, you have the 4 of Pentacles. 4 is a number of foundation, strong foundations, stability, and you know, you are now probably hoping to get that stability in your physical world, whether it's a steady job, whether it's, you know, a source of income, whether it's a stable home life, whatever it is, you want to get out of this disruption in your physical world and get the stability, which is why you are really hoping for luck and the end of a cycle, because your world has been challenged and disrupted by the Hierophant. Now, no matter what that was, a life lesson, a spiritual lesson, or someone, this person or situation has brought on this 5 of Pentacles. And you're yearning for stability in your physical world. And at the final outcome, you get the 6 of Wands, which is the victory card. 6 is the number of harmony after having overcome a challenge or disruption. Wands to do with passion and desire. 6 of Wands is you triumphing, getting out of that 5 of Pentacles. And so probably getting out of your head, because you are really in the sword environment, which is to do with thoughts. But I do believe that the key word, message from this reading is that in order to get that victory, you need to look at your intuition, get some insights. Whether these insights come from the Page of Swords coming in the near future, who may be bringing you some news, some messages. Analyze the message with your intuition, listen to your gut, and think about what is your Nine of Cups, what is your wish fulfilled, what do you want really to be completely and totally emotionally fulfilled. Because once you've got this, once you understand what it is you want and you've listened to your inner voice, you will be victorious. And it will be a really, really nice victory, because it's fire energy, it's, you know, your desires, it's that drive, you know, to be successful. So I would be wary of being too much in your head with this King and Queen of Swords. I'm going to say it, and this is a very specific message for someone out there, because I just got that message. It just popped into my head. There could be parents. There could be parents, because the King and the Queen can be kind of judgmental, and they don't do it nastily. They do it because they believe it is fair and the right thing to do. And so in your environment, you may have parents who, you know, maybe this lesson was linked to them, and it's kind of brought some kind of big disruption in your life, and this is keeping you standing still. So that's what I've got for you today. That was a specific message for someone and no one else. As I said, it popped into my head, I had to mention it. I hope you enjoyed your journey through the cards with me. I've uploaded the second half of November Zodiac daily, not daily, tarot reading, and I'll leave you a link left or right if you want to check them out. If this message or any part of it has resonated with you or helped you in a small way, please let me know in the comment box below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again very soon. Until next time, au revoir.